Good morning, everyone. This is Ash from the Little Victory Junk Garden, and we are going to be doing more of the mulch activity today. I do still need to bring down some more of those chips from the chip drop area that you guys saw last week and continue to cover that lily bed I was working in just to try and get a jump on the nasty weeds that are in there. And it actually kind of looks really pretty. We also picked up some more rhubarb crowns that we're going to put in the rhubarb area that unfortunately, it snowed and the animals got to it. So it is what it is. So we got some more. We're going to get those planted. I need to plant my forget-me-nots and the milkweed as well. I'm thinking about putting that in our lily bed, and then we are probably going to end up at a garden center or two. I am on the hunt for some snapdragons for our shaded area, some ferns, and hostas. And so that's kind of the vibe of what's going on today. The weather is just going to kind of get a little warmer over the next couple days. I do have work tomorrow, and so that's kind of going to be a wash of a day. But we are hoping to throw out some more seeds. We're probably going to have to upplant these peppers soon. I am going to do a couple seed check-ins and plant walks and everything throughout the mornings. And so definitely stay tuned for this week. These are our oldest peppers, and they are doing so well. A lot of them are getting their true leaves, and I just love to see the little creases on those leaves. And then I believe this is a radish or two. They're a little leggy. Been trying to blow on them a little bit to get them strengthened, but they just really want to be outside. And then we have some eggplant, I believe, over here, and some lettuce, and more peppers. And then I believe these are more peppers too. She got a little crazy with the peppers, but we just kind of think, hey, if we can't actually harvest from them because there's too many, then we'll trade them, give them away. Our sweet potato experiment is going really well. There's a lot of eyes, a lot of growth in here. One of these actually detached itself already and started growing little roots in the soil. We actually had one that we detached and put in water in our kitchen, and it's doing good too. It has little leaves and stuff. So we were just kind of doing an experiment instead of buying slips from the nursery and seeing if we could do it at home. This potato is still pretty dense. She's been a trooper. And you can see more peppers. And this is a peek at the crowns that we got. If you've never looked at what a rhubarb crown looks like, it just kind of looks like a big piece of dead wood. But we got one that already had some growth on it. There was a lot of roots in here already. So I'm hoping they will be able to withstand our wilderness garden patch and do good things. So it looks like we have some yarrow in here growing under all the dead foliage. I think I'm going to clean this up today. I love the yarrow. It's so cute. Looks like we have some salvia coming up too. Eee! There's a few strawberries starting to do their thing. Another salvia. Eee! Here's our lilac, starting to get a little greenery on it. This, I think, is one of my tulip lilies. I forgot to uncover it, so it's a little pale, and I'm hoping it'll recover. Here's our check-in of our baby lamb's ear. I just love these little guys. Glad that they survived the 28-degree night. We aren't getting much anything more out of these crocus, so I'm gonna say maybe a deer ate them. And these are the columbine that we had planted. That one's doing much better over there after it got planted. It was so shriveled up and sad from the heat, I think. And the baby columbine from last year are starting to come up. That's super exciting. And this is supposed to be a corabelle. I just don't know if it's actually going to come back. I'm thinking I might throw some extra dirt on top of it and see if maybe it will come back eventually. It's pretty cloudy, so I haven't seen any nope ropes in the bed yet, but this is one of our bearded somethings, bearded tongue. And I believe this is a hyssop that I had done last year. It's actually got really good growth on it so far. Catmint is doing good. Smells good already. This is the other bearded tongue. It's already gotten a lot of greenery on it. I'll probably scoop these leaves away soon. And I'm pretty sure that Bob left me with a gift. Like, that's kind of rude, Bob, but damn. And here's our little tulip bed. It's coming up. It's gonna look beautiful. I heard that the garden down the street has snapdragons already, so that's why I'm on the prowl for some. Look at this cute alien. Like, I really love the foliage on it already. Loving it. This area here is generally full of hosta, and I haven't seen any come up just yet. It's still a little early, but I am thinking about throwing some of the chips down in here just to make it look nicer. And here we have a bunch of our elderberry starting to show a little bit of greenery. We have quite a few. Elderberry kind of gets a little rampant. So this is the original stock area. And it's kind of grown like a tree. And then we have these little offshoots on here. There's one over here. And then there's one over there. And we did realize that there were some weird caterpillars munching on them, and it really looks like it ate them all the way back, so we had to trim them and prune them up. So we know this year not to let them grow, or not let them exist necessarily. We have some peony that is starting to come up there, and then we have some in that cage over there as well, and so I'm excited to see those come up this year. And then this is gonna be the bed that I'm gonna work in today. Throw some more of the wood chips in here. It kind of looks real nice. I think it looks like chaos, but it will look nice eventually. And this year we're doing some potato experiments. So this is one of our older pots, just like a barrel thing. We put in some chitting potatoes, threw in some fertilizers, some bone meal and blood meal, and so we're hoping they will grow. We're going to do a potato experiment in a box as well, because we saw that on YouTube, and so probably see that today. One of the other things I wanted to update was I started doing this water situation, and so what I ended up doing was getting a splitter here, and they have these on-off switches, which is cool, and I ended up putting quick release valves on the end of each one of these hoses. Put them in milk crates, one on each side, so that we can swap out this wand here with ease. You just pull on it, boop, there it goes. But now we can just use the wand on both sides, and then we don't have to drag the hose so much. So we're out here prepping the beds. These are the other beds coming up that we'll be planting into. We did go ahead and till these at the beginning of the season, but you do see some little growth in here. It's dried out a little bit, but look how beautiful and dark that soil is. Holy earthworm, Batman! My goodness, look how big it is! I will relocate him to the dirt, but he's doing damn good himself. On my way back to the mulch platform with my wagon. Oh, the hill, it is so steep, but we will get there. And we made it. I took out this little tree though. This is kind of in the way. Wish me luck. Alright, so I got this tire wagon full of mulch, and I'm going to go ahead and back it up over here and dump it into that lily pit and just kind of spread it about. Alrighty, so I did go ahead and get the rest of the wood chips that I wanted to put in this bed. I do have some peonies in a couple locations like I showed you, so I kind of tried to leave those a little uncovered, but I think it looks much better. And the lilies that maybe I stomped on, they will come back if they're strong enough. People call them day little lilies. My mother-in-law calls them junk lilies. You know, they're just kind of invasive, and so I did go around the entire bed and use the action hoe and kind of scrape out here to keep them from spreading further, because you can see that they want to jump out. They want to keep spreading. And usually lilies, I don't mind them doing that, but I don't really like these lilies. They didn't do all that well last year. I don't know, we're still changing the yard around, so maybe they'll do better this year. We'll see. So this area, I think I want to put my forget-me-nots. It's kind of a little shady, it's kind of a little sunny, but yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done in here. Looks like we got some old rocks and plenty of weeds. I had to move this wheel out of the way. Excuse the plane if you can hear it. We live nearby an airport. But I think I'm going to use the action hoe and kind of get around these edges here as well and kind of just try and pull all the muck out of there, and hopefully it'll be suitable to plant those. I got my forget-me-nots put in here. That action hoe is a freaking godsend, I swear. Like, I edged all this area out. I might put a little bit extra dirt in here, but otherwise the dirt is like perfectly fine. But if you want a little giggle, my wife's family is rock people. They love rocks. And I pulled all of these rocks and crystals out of there. Yes. Lots of rocks. But it looks beautiful. And I'm thinking about ultimately having something maybe here that might vine up this used wagon wheel. This is a whole nother story. One day we'll get there, but until then, we start here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and plant the milkweed in the lantana out here. Gets pretty good sun, so I'm hoping they will do well for our pollinators. All right, I got all 4 of those plants planted up. They look great. I think they'll be very happy here. There's lots of sun right now. I just planted them while it was sunny, so I felt like this was a really good place for them. And they'll look really cute with the peonies and the lilies that are in the area. And just for reference, this is what it's supposed to be like for the milkweed. It's going to be kind of pinkish, whitish. And then for this one here, we're going to have some beautiful yellows and oranges. Alright, and one of the other cool things I wanted to point out before I move forward with my next project is whenever I talk about our junk garden and us just kind of using the things that are here that have been passed down for generations and stuff instead of going out and buying new things, this is kind of one of my repurposed projects. We needed like a little potting station to keep all of our plastic buckets and things to upplant into, because we do reuse those things. And so I took some of the milk crates that I found. You know, some of these milk crates are very old, and I laid down 2 2x4s, random planking that I found laying around as well. And then I found this tote, and we keep all of our dirt in it and other things, as you can see. And then there was this old cabinet that was used for like chemicals and stuff at my dad's work, and so I just put one of his old mats to the inside of his other truck on top to keep it from leaking water on top, and just because it's durable and easy to clean. And so then in here we just store all of the, you know, stuff we don't want to leave laying around. We have some compost in here. The raccoons would definitely get to it. And then we have some of the things that we have to use for pest control and such. But it's a really cool little repurposed potting station. Tell me what you think. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put together our potato box experiment we saw on YouTube, where you just take a box. This one's a little heavy duty. It's just a reusable produce box and some soil, and we're going to take some chitting potatoes here that we've just kind of had in the house for this experiment and see how it goes. So we made it to the garden center a little late today, but I got this cute creeping phlox for in between the lavender up on the bank, and I think it'll look so nice. It's full sun. That area will get full sun, and it'll look so good between the lavenders. And then we got marigold for our porch pots. This is some alyssum that Sheila wants to plant around the garden. And then we got some beautiful hostas for the seating area and for by the bird bath. Alright, we're going to do a little garden walk this morning. Those are some of the plants we got for yesterday at the garden center. Going this way, yay! We have a couple extra things to check on. We have an extra allium that came up over here. It's super cute. You can tell it's going to be a little different. My lily that I had covered with the shade cloth, it's called an apricot fudge lily. I called it a tulip lily yesterday, but it seems like it's straightening out and doing well. I was out clearing the bed yesterday and I saw that our echinacea is starting to come up everywhere where there is some dead foliage, so I'm definitely pretty sure that is echinacea anyways. However, I do have to report a murder to my columbine plants I showed you yesterday. They're so beautiful and vibrant next to the baby columbine, and freaking deer, man. They're forest puppies and we really acknowledge the fact that we live in their habitat as well, but dang, like they ate them all the way back. Luckily these do keep growing throughout the season, but it was a huge blow. I'm real sad about that. Ugh, they got a couple of my tulips too down here in the tulip field. Like, it was definitely a gamble to come out here and plant these so close to the road where they are, but I have to accept it. But dang it, it's never exciting. They left their hoof prints. I know it was them. And the last thing I want to show you guys is that creeping phlox that I bought last night. I did go ahead and plant that this morning before I go to work. I'm not very happy with the fact that these two are off center than this one, but I guess I just don't get the landscaping award of the year. But look how cute it is. These are deer resistant, so is the lavender, and the bees love them. So I'm hoping, if anything, they will be super pollinator friendly and happy. And again, hopefully the deers won't eat them. Alright everyone, so that's going to be the end of this particular vlog. I do have to go to work, so I gotta get cleaned up and get the heck out of here. But I'll see you on the next one. Bye!